Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Yes, welcome back. I released the video. We didn't fuck it up this time.
Actually out.
Alright, so as always, we're gonna be starting with our game of the week. I want to hear what yours is, Mark.
Okay, my game of the week is Blasters of the Universe. Now it's a VR game, and I didn't think I would enjoy it, but I watched a review on it on YouTube, and they were like, "Okay, this is VR shooter meets bullet hell," and I was like, "Okay, it's on sale. I'll pick it up. I'll give it a try." I got it. I played it. I actually streamed it a while back, so if you want to check that out, you can see that. It's super fun.
I'll
It's
remember to
it's
put a link in the
difficult,
description
man.
for you.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. Um, but it's difficult. There's a bunch of attachments, a bunch of different weapons, and you actually have to move. Whenever I play it, I get like sweaty and everything. It's gross, but it's fun. It's so much fun.
Uh, Speaking of which, have you seen that VR backpack that's being sold?
No, what's that?
It's made by Zotac, the original builders of the mini PC or whatever.
Okay.
Basically, instead of having those like stereoscopic cameras or whatever that scan the room for you to move around in, you just put the shit on your backpack, and there's some detector on there that knows where you're going, and you can just
Okay,
walk
so then you
around
just
in
walk
any
around.
space. Yeah, there's no limit. Like you can't set it. You don't have to set up
That's
cameras.
weird.
You can just
Oh, that's
go
weird.
everywhere. I mean, you
I
have a
feel like
higher
I would
chance of
walk
hitting a
into
wall.
things.
Yeah, you have a higher chance of hitting a wall that way. But my game of the week, and this might disappoint a lot of people because this is a very, very old game, older than a lot of titles that I can name. Minecraft. We've been back on it since we did the stream. I can't get enough of that game anymore. We've been on it since I joined it since beta 5.6, well
Yeah, I was
5.5,
alpha point
but I
nine
did it
nine or something.
at the back end of, or not, yeah, the back end of 5.5, and you were alpha what?
9.
9. We've been playing since then. Obviously, you guys can look up the dates for the
Yeah, whenever that came
versions,
out. We're not
whatever.
gonna
Like
put that.
we're not gonna name them. They're so different. I can name when the 1.7 went to 2.0, or technically not 2.0 when they went out of beta and went out of alpha. I can
Yeah.
name those, but it doesn't really matter. Um, I just been building. Like obviously the game's just about building, but I can't get enough of decorating in it because
Dude, I
it's
I
so
hopped on that.
simple, but you can make things look so pretty. And I can't. I don't know. I can't get enough of
I
it.
hopped on that server for a while. I think it was this morning, like early this morning, and I think it was last night or the night before. And I just I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. It's really relaxing, really
Did you
calming. Just
find my shop?
yes, I did. I found that this morning. I was like, what?
You
And
have
then
to
you
have
found mine, obviously.
you have to
But
have a competitor.
yeah, we'll have to
We,
show that in a stream or something.
yeah,
People have to see that.
we might be streaming that today, but we'll definitely stream it on Tuesday, if not today. Uh,
Yeah,
but we need to keep like doing stuff like that. Like one of us needs to start a theme, and the other one needs to like make a competitor store.
yes.
I think that'd be a really good way to fill up that mall. You guys will see that when we do the stream. I'll put a link to it in here. It'll probably would be in the next podcast because we recorded it on Tuesday, and then the podcast was supposed to be out on Monday. All right, but I had to practice, and the editing took longer. Okay, but you can't deny it didn't look pretty.
No, it looked awesome.
Um,
It's really nice.
so I need to check my phone because I don't remember what order I said this. Oh yeah,
Well, first
Tokyo
up,
Game Show.
yeah. Now it's been a very disappointing like Tokyo Game Show so far. There hasn't been a lot of big announcements that I've been hoping for. Like I've been hoping for something. PlayStation was supposed to do a big PlayStation Network announcement. They didn't. I mean, I guess they technically did with PlayStation Now. I mean, now you can download PS4 and PS2 games on PlayStation Now, which is like okay, instead of
But
streaming
that's
it,
not
download
new.
it.
They announced that earlier.
No, they just announced that.
I think I heard something about that. Maybe it was just rumors, and that they actually turned true. You know.
Yeah, but I mean, there are a few things that were interesting. I mean, they showed some trailers that I thought were cool, a little bit more info on Kingdom Hearts 3, and the big thing that was I kind of expected it, but I'm happy that it was announced. Kojima, who Kojima is.
Who
Um,
doesn't know who Kojima is?
Death Stranding's coming out, right? He
If you
said it's
play
gonna be.
video games, you need to know who Kojima
If you
is,
don't know who Kojima is, then just get out.
or at least what's his studio called? Fox Sound. I mean, it's Fox something. Fox
I
Productions.
forget.
But yeah, like you should know Metal Gear at
Yeah, for
least. If
real.
you don't know Kojima, you should know the Metal Gear games. They're very
Yeah, at
popular.
least by name if you haven't never
Yeah.
played it. But he's making the game called Death Stranding, and it looks weird. All the trailers have done have been like crazy. Like they go inside Norman Reedus's throat, and there's a baby, and it's like what? But he said that it's going to come out in 2019,
Yeah.
and it's going to be open world,
Yeah. I
and
expected that. This is the last game.
it's going to have co-op. Co-op.
Ooh, I'm more excited about that than when you said that because we can do some things there, and
Yeah.
like I know you're gonna pick it up because you're a Metal Gear fan. You weren't a fan of the last game, which I wasn't either.
Oh,
But
five
we-
was. Mm.
Five was a sandbox, right? Five was a
Yeah,
sandbox.
I'm
It
not-
appealed to a lot more people because they had a lot more fun with it. But for me, the game wasn't written completely. Like it didn't feel empty. It felt like it was missing a lot of parts. But of course, Kojima didn't get to finish it because Konami was the fucking prick about it.
Yeah.
Kojima still needed to program in that one last chapter where the kids still. I don't know if it's let me try. The philanthropist. I don't know if that's the proper name or if that's from that game, but you know the giant robot. You
Mhm.
know the thing that's the main point of Metal Gear 5. The kid's supposed to steal it, and he's supposed to go to some island, and Venom Snake is supposed to fight him in that place, and some other like a ton of other chunk of stories supposed to take place on that island that didn't get to come out because Konami pulled the plug and kicked out Kojima. But you know, happens.
Yeah, I mean, they did that, and then they came out with Metal Gear Survive, and like,
Oh,
we know
wait,
how that turned out.
Yeah, nobody talks about Metal Gear. Like we had the beta, right? And
Yeah.
then everybody was like negative reviews, and then the game released, and it just fell off the what's the saying? Falling off the
Fell off
planet
the edge of the
or
earth.
something? Falling, yeah, it fell off the edge of the earth.
It's just gone, man.
Just unreleased day, it just fell off the edge of the earth. Nobody even said it anymore. I forgot that Metal Gear Survive existed. I was looking through Tokyo Game Show because if you
Yeah.
guys don't know, it's not really streamed for America. I mean, we can't find any stream. IGN isn't even covering it. The only ones I could find is the Japanese versions from Japanese PlayStation channel and some reaction videos for it in Spanish and in English. But who the fuck wants to watch reaction videos? Um.
It just sucks, man. It just sucks.
That we couldn't watch it, yeah. It's really not like E3 though. It's not like they have conferences. They just pop up a couple of announcements every now and then.
Yeah.
But they definitely like from looking through the list. You're right. They definitely had no good titles. There were no big news. I mean, they kept spamming Jump Force for the most part, and then I'm not. I don't know what you were going on with the Mega Blaster. I'm not completely against that because you know
Dude,
I like
okay.
Mega Man, but like I watched
No,
the
it's
thumbnail
bad.
and I looked at it and it looks really stupid. And I don't care how stupid it looks. I'm still gonna use the fucking Mega Blaster, but it looks really fucking stupid.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
And
Why
what
is it
was-
in Devil May Cry 5?
The one other thing I wanted to say about Death Stranding is there were a ton of rumors. I don't even know if this was when they were confirmed. They might have been confirmed earlier, but they were before there were a ton of rumors that there was a female lead. And with seeing the Tokyo Game Show teaser, I mean that's you see the female lead
Yeah.
in the teaser. They might have released a newer one. I haven't kept up with Death Stranding mainly because Kojima isn't gonna like tell you anything. Like if
right.
you're an OG
Yep.
fan, which by the way, I just realized like this morning, I don't know what OG stands for. I'm pretty sure it stands for original, but I don't really know
Original
what OG
Gangster.
Anyway. Oh, is it? Okay, well,
Yeah.
anyway. If you're an original fan of the Metal Gear games or Kojima, you would know that Metal Gear 2, right? There was the one that you were playing as Raiden instead of Big
Mhm.
Boss. but all the trailers were about Big Boss and Snake, and
Yeah.
a lot of the scenes that you saw in the trailers didn't even happen in the game with Raiden. So
So it was,
Kojima might not even be making that game.
do I think a
He could
baby's gonna
just
crawl out of Norman Reedus' throat? No, but do I think it's gonna be weird and fun and interesting? Yes.
I mean, we don't know if he's on drugs during
Who
those scenes,
knows?
okay? He's half naked in some of those things. You don't know what he's on.
Oh, man.
It's a post-apocalypse. The radiation could get to you sometimes. I've been in Fallout. I know how it goes.
Oh man, yeah.
Anything else you want to say about the Tokyo Game Show?
Oh, just Resident Evil 2 it actually looks good. I'm not a huge Resident Evil fan. I like the newer ones. I'm not crazy about the older ones. I don't like the tank controls.
I liked
Standing still to
5
shoot. 5 is good. I
because
like
it was
5.
co-op.
Yeah.
Like, 5 was a good limit between being fun
Mhm.
and not being horrible garbage. Cause 6 is fucking garbage. Alright, 6 is the worst game. I mean, even before it came out, what was the picture? A girl sucking off a giraffe? Wasn't that the joke?
Yeah, that
it
was
looked
the
like
joke.
with
Yeah,
the
yeah,
6?
yeah, yeah. Because of the
Yeah,
6.
like,
Yeah, in
it-
the spider web or whatever.
And that game, I've told you many times. I played with somebody else, and we played on the hardest difficulty, and I just knifed most of the bosses to death. It wasn't even a challenge to play that game.
Yeah.
But, some people enjoyed it. I don't completely hate it, but I am extremely disappointed that it exists. I just like it because it's so fucking
a lot of
stupid.
people like Resident Evil 4. Now, I've never played Resident Evil 4. I hear it's really good, but I haven't played it. But I played the first one. I played 2. Didn't play 3. I have it on my PS3, but I haven't played it.
I'm gonna be honest, and I'm probably gonna get fucking stoned for this, but Resident Evil 4 isn't that great. The main reason why Resident Evil 4 is like proclaimed a lot is because they had way better controls than Resident Evil 1 through 3. Because in Resident Evil 1 through 3, the camera was static, it was
Yeah,
per
yeah,
room,
yeah.
and you couldn't move it around, and the controls were in the direction the camera was moving, so if you were moving up and the camera was angled at a certain way,
You could
suddenly
not
started
see
moving
anything.
right. No, you suddenly started moving right because the camera was angled in a weird way. But Resident Evil 4, story-wise, was alright. It's mainly because of the mechanical and gameplay improvements.
Yeah.
I enjoyed playing the game, but I wouldn't say it's like a 10 out of 10 game. It definitely deserves all the credit it gets, but it's not a 10 out of 10 game.
And Resident Evil 7 is one that I've wanted to play. I haven't played it yet. I want to play it, and it's available in VR, so I've thought about getting it in VR, but I feel like I would just be scared out of my mind. I'm
don't
a
know,
chicken when it
man.
comes to games, man. Especially scary
I,
games.
I I don't like scary games either. I own a lot because of many places that I get keys for. I wish I had more people watching my channel so I can make giveaways, but it doesn't really matter right now.
Dude, I'm so bad that
Yeah,
like, Dead Space,
I
the
have
first
so
one,
many sort of scary games. I can't do. I had the keys for both Outlast games and Outlast 2 because I'm a bundle, and I'm like, I'm not gonna play that. You fucking serious? I'm not even gonna play that during the day.
That's how I feel because whenever Dead Space for the PS3 came out, I got it and I played it, and I had to play one chapter at a time because I was just like, it's not even that scary. Like now I'll go back and play it. I'm like, oh man, this is.
I mean, how young were you? Let's just tell that to the audience.
I don't know. I don't remember what year it came out. I was probably
like,
14, 15.
It was on PS3. Come
Yeah.
on, if it was on PS3, you can make an estimate.
Yeah,
But yeah, like it's not like it's not like you were an adult and you were scared of some alien xenomorphs, Like as a teenager, an alien is going to be terrifying. I mean, for the people that have watched the Alien series when they were younger, that was
They were
terrifying.
Or even Jurassic Park, like the first Jurassic Park. I was
The
terrified of
first
it.
Jurassic
Dude,
Park
when I was
was
a kid.
really scary.
I had nightmares about it.
Even watching it now makes me tense up because they made the scenes pretty not believable, but
Yeah.
the dinosaur wasn't like out of position, right? It felt like you would have fucking died
Yeah,
if
you
you
felt
were
like
there.
you would die if you were in that situation. You
Yeah.
felt like you were there. And the second one upped the ante at the end with the raptors. I remember like Oh man, I mean,
Like, I think it was more because in that movie you couldn't blame the characters for not running away.
exactly.
Because it's a fucking dinosaur.
Yeah, but I remember I would get babysat, and I would go over there, and they had Jurassic Park 1 and 2, and I would be like, "Can I watch this?" And I was must have been 5 or 6, and I would sit there and watch it, and I'd be scared out of my pants.
I will. We're getting off
I
topic
know,
here. Let me
but
just
still.
let me just mention one thing about one last thing about TGS. I'm a huge Kingdom Hearts fan. If you guys watched the last podcast, we had a little battle because this man thinks the controls are clunky, even though that's like the only reason I like the Kingdom Hearts series. That's literally
I'll give it another try.
play
I'll give it
them.
another try.
You're going to give it another try because you're gonna play the BR experience.
Yeah.
How much do you know about the Kingdom Hearts series? And are you or interested at all now that you see the newer things, or were you interested at all before you saw the newer things?
I'm more interested now than I was before, and that's
Because
only
of the BR
no,
experience.
that's
or
only because of my wife.
of the-
Because my wife likes it a lot. For me,
Oh,
I'm not,
yeah.
I don't know. I'd never been interested really in before, but she likes it a lot. So whenever the third one comes out, we're gonna get like the big collector's
Well,
thing.
I understand why it's not appealing
Yeah.
to people because of the Final Fantasy series itself is very niche. Not to mention adding Disney characters. Like I can tell you that a lot of people don't like Kingdom Hearts because they added them with or Disney characters, and Final Fantasy characters. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's see. I don't know much about Kingdom Hearts. I know so little that whenever the Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer came out, the new one that just came out during Gamescom, I kept teasing my wife and being like, "Is that Roxas?" the whole time.
Is that right?
Yeah, because I don't know who Roxas
I mean,
is.
I mean, what answer did she give you is my question.
No,
Because I'm more
no.
concerned if she gave you the right or wrong answer. Who did you point at?
Everyone.
Spiky hair kid?
Everyone.
Okay, there's like 4 Roxases, to be honest.
Wait, what?
So we're not gonna go there.
Oh man.
So
Okay.
Sora is Roxas, Roxas is Roxas, Ventus is Roxas, and then there's another guy that was in the first Kingdom Hearts that I don't know his name, but he looks like Sora, but he is Roxas.
Mhm.
So we're not gonna talk about that.
Anyways, that's
There are
basically
4
like the
Roxases.
actual lore and stuff. Now I know about like the Disney stuff and how they go to different.
And there's
Disney
like
worlds.
5 Ansems.
Yeah. I just don't understand like the
So-
whole story.
Just don't try to understand the story, dude. The story doesn't make any sense. I just told you there's 4 Roxases. How confusing is that going to be? And I'm pretty sure there's 5 to 6 Ansems. I don't know if Terra is an Ansem version of whatever, so I can't count them yet. But
Maybe they'll answer questions in 3.
I mean,
Oh.
I don't think they will. I think they'll give me more questions because I don't even understand how some of the characters from the Final Fantasy or not Final Fantasy Organization 13 didn't or are dead or didn't die, and then plus what's it called? The X wielders that they added in Kingdom Hearts 3. What the fuck is that about? Anyway,
Anyways,
is there anything else you want to talk about the Tokyo Game
just
Show
one more
before we
thing, and
move on?
that's another Kingdom Hearts thing. Kingdom Hearts 2.8 HD was supposed to come out. It's supposed to be like a prelude to Kingdom Hearts 3. It got pushed back to end of January now. So
Well, isn't there a mega pack now for $100?
Yeah, that's what I wanna
brings
get.
The 1.5
I wanna
and
get
the
that.
2.5 and the 2.8. That's a lot of money, dude. I honestly would suggest that you buy those 1.5s used. I'm pretty sure that'd be cheaper, man.
well,
'Cause,
if,
like,
if I look at it, like
those,
2.8
like-
is like $40, and then 3 is 60. So that's pretty much it.
I mean, you don't have to buy them all at the same time. You could buy 1.5 because all the games, all the whatever, the point whatevers at retail came out or brand new came out at $40, and now 1.5 is like 20, maybe even less if you don't get ripped off by GameStop. 2.5 is definitely around 20. I'm not gonna say people like Kingdom Hearts 2 less than Kingdom Hearts 1, but people like Kingdom Hearts 2 less than Kingdom Hearts 1.
Yeah, but like in the
Um,
bundle, you pay for it, then you get to play those digitally now, where you don't have to wait for the third one to come out. You get those access to those immediately, and I'd rather have them digital than physical.
Okay, I get that, but I'm a big fan, so I'd rather have them physical than digital.
I don't think the
I mean, I
the
have
$100
the-
thing is physical.
Is it
Mm-mm,
not?
I think it's just
Anyway, I
digital.
have the 1.5 and the 2.5 physical for the PS3.
Oh, nice.
Is that the
Yep,
last thing you want
that's
to
it.
talk about? Okay, so one of the other topics that's kind of related to Tokyo Game Show, not really to that specifically, but hardware in general. Uh, the review copies, I'm pretty sure, the review copies of the NVIDIA RTX 2080 Ti. That name is very difficult to say because I always try to do GTX. You're not a computer
No,
guy,
but you
right,
told
Mark?
me about this before whenever it was first announced, and I was interested in it. It
Yeah.
sounds awesome.
Uh, Basically, what the RTX does is ray tracing. Normally, what ray tracing is, it lets you do a one by one scale of a, let's say, a room. I don't know what the exact word would be, but you build a set,
Yeah.
and it's a one by one scale, like realistic scale. But normally you can only do one frame. You normally can't do videos. Like you wouldn't be able to play your video game at 60 FPS because those ray tracing is normally made for to render one frame in a day, like 24 hours. So it's not very fast,
Hmm.
right? But the technology that they use for it is unknown because patents and security reasons. They can't really tell you what technology they're working on. But they mix in ray tracing with the CUDA cores, which I don't really know how to explain CUDA cores to people that don't know about hardware. But the basic premise of the disappointment that there is right
Hmm.
now with the GTX 2080 Ti is that they are promising ray tracing at release day when there won't be any games that support ray tracing at release day. You know what I mean?
Wait.
Like there was
Okay, so they're promising something that won't even work because no developers are using it yet.
they're promising something that doesn't have support because nobody is using it yet.
Okay.
It works, but you can't use it because nobody made a game that uses it. So, like, what's the point? The
Yeah.
card, to its credit, the video card does perform a lot better than the 1080 Ti. I don't know what the numbers are for the Titan. I think it's equivalent to the Titan XP, but the Titan isn't really for gaming because you can't do SLI and for other reasons. But just mainly keep in mind that the Titan can't do SLI, and what SLI is it lets you use more than one video card, which it makes it easier on your computer to play games. Um, and it's a lot stronger. Like I think the percentage was 10% to 15% stronger than the 1080 Ti. Uh, but they may get the promises with the ray tracing because I don't know what the price point is. But it's really
Hmm.
expensive. Because the Titans that are old now are over $1,000, and they're giving you this technology that has no support for it when the card's released. Like, I don't understand why they can't wait a little longer to release it, so people or developers can have the chance to do it. Maybe they just want it out so developers don't have to ask for orders through the manufacturer to get special copies. But there's really no competition in the graphics card industry because AMD's not a
Yeah,
good.
Nvidia's like
AMD
dominates.
doesn't really. AMD doesn't really AMD's not even on par with Nvidia. They're nowhere near what Nvidia is on that. AMD is good fighting in Intel, but that's a different topic. Uh, but like, why would we want a video card that's brand new that has technology that there's not even games for yet? Um, the only type of people that should buy that card are mega fanboys that like to get every strongest piece on the market as soon as it's out. Besides that, it's not worth anybody's time. I run the 1050 Ti, which you don't really know how to compare it to, and it would take a lot of time for me to tell you. But the best in the market is the 1080 Ti, and the difference in power in that, it's marginal. It's not gigantic, but you and a 1080 Ti you could run your games on ultimate, and on mine some games I have to run on medium, like Quantum Break. I have to jiggle some numbers around so it can look
Hmm.
perfect on recording. You know what I mean? Uh, but what do you think about that? Having a piece of hardware that doesn't even have support for it because nobody's making
I
things
feel
for it.
like I
You know
feel
what I mean?
like they should have before they announced it and did all that. They should have gotten with some publishers and said, "Hey, this is what we got. Here you go. Play with it. Make us some stuff that will work with it. So whenever we release it, it has something." They could have.
The only game that's coming out is Tomb Raider. but that's because they're. I'm pretty sure they're partnered with Nvidia. I'm not 100%. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, they could have gone to like I don't know, less than 50 developers and gotten a ton
Yeah.
of games to support ray tracing. I don't know how complicated that would have been to wait a little longer for it, but I'm not in their marketing team. I don't know their sales numbers. I don't know what their tactics are. Maybe it is more effective. Who knows? It just seems weird. It's like the whole headphone jack all over again. Where they replaced the auxiliary jack with the USB Type C sound. Like nobody supported that with their headphones. Nobody had that kind of connection there. Everybody used auxiliary. So why did you want to bring quote unquote higher quality headphones when nobody supported it?
Hmm.
Is there anything else you want to say about this topic, or because that's all I gotta
No,
say
I
for it.
just, I just don't understand. Like, I'm I'm not a huge like PC gamer. I'll play some PC games, but putting so much money into technology that in next year or the year after it's going to be antiquated, and they're going to be like, you got to buy more. I don't understand it. I don't get all that.
Well, that's not really going on anymore. It was a thing like 5 years ago. I think 5 years ago it stops. It stopped. But I don't know. There was a law of physics. I think it might have been Moore's law. I'm not 100% sure. What's Moore's law? Number transition density grading circuit. Oh yeah, it is Moore's law. Basically, the computer parts are getting too
Oh,
small
okay.
that the information transistors uh, aren't able to block the ones
Hmm.
and zeros. So normally there's switches, let's just call them switches for the sake of time, that are yes or no switches that turn the zero or one to pass or to not pass. But we're getting to a point where they're getting too small, where those zeros and ones could just phase through the gates and break your goddamn computer because they're too small to be
Yeah.
detected by the gate. So really, right now, there is no huge improvements. Like I have, for the people that know hardware, I have a i7 6700. Yeah, 6700. The Skylake processor. The K version is not very old, not much older than mine, but it's supposed to be much better. The K version is mainly just
Hmm.
for overclocking, and the highest i7 we have is the 800 or 8800 or 8900. But the difference in power isn't that gigantic. The main part of it is it has two extra cores, and the best part about the 8800 or 8900, sorry I didn't do my homework, but I'm pretty sure you guys can correct me, is the gigahertz clock speed, which is 5.0 compared to the one I have, which is 3.4, which 2.5 might not sound like a lot, but when you compare it to 5.0 being the highest clock speed that the i7 has, 2.5 is a big jump. Um, so more there's not being technology is not really being antiquated anymore because there's only such a small degree we can make the hardware, the
Right.
physical parts.
Well, I mean that makes sense to me.
You could be
I don't know.
you can be on i5, which is older than i7, and they have
Yeah.
i9, so that's like two generations before, and you could still be competitive for gaming. But that's all I got for the topic. If there's anything
Well,
else you
I
want to
mean, you
add,
talked about
you
your
can say it.
hardware, so
But
let me talk about my hardware. So,
yeah, this is also Tokyo
yeah,
Game Show
it was
related,
announced right
but
before Tokyo Game
more
Show, actually.
gaming hardware.
They announced, PlayStation announced the PlayStation Classic. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody's like, they either love it, they hate it, or they're like, what are the rest of the games? Because they announced that the PlayStation Classic is going to be smaller, pretty much like the NES Classic, the Super NES Classic by Nintendo, pretty much a blatant copy. And they're going to have 20 games on it, but they've only announced 5 of those games. They've announced Final Fantasy VII, which is probably why they didn't announce anything about Final Fantasy VII Remake, Jumping Flash, Ridge Racer Type 4, Tekken 3. I
What the
don't
fuck
know,
is
man.
Jumping
I've never
Flash?
heard of it. And Wild Arms. I don't know what that is either. Like Tekken, I get. Ridge Racer, I get. I played the first Ridge Racer. My dad had that on his PlayStation. I'd play that to death.
I
Yeah.
get Final Fantasy, but I don't want it to be Final Fantasy VII. like Final Fantasy VII, and nobody's talking about it, and it makes me really angry. So we're gonna fucking say it today. Nobody's talking about how many times they re-released Final Fantasy VII. They made the joke about Skyrim, but nobody's making the joke about Final Fantasy VII. It came out for PS3, it came out for PS4, it came out for PS2, it came out for PS1, it came out for PC, it came out for fucking Switch now.
Is it on
I don't
mobile?
even. Is it out for Xbox? Cause it's on mobile, dude. It's on mobile. Is it on the
Yeah.
Xbox? Cause if it's not on Xbox, all it's missing is it's on Xbox, and like it's out on every console. Like you saw the jump
Yeah.
trailer that they showed on E3. Like it's practically that now. They practically need to put Final Fantasy VII on your fucking fridge or on your what's it called, your Alexa or whatever. Which technically wouldn't be that easy because it's a turn-based game. So you
Mhm.
know.
But the
It would
thing
be
I'm
pretty
curious
easy.
about is what are the rest of the games? There's 15 more games, and it's expensive. It's $100, and until I say I want to spend $100 and get this, which I probably won't.
You know,
But whenever I think of it, I don't think of it as something for myself. I think I'm expecting a daughter, and I want her to have something that she can play that will be like what I had whenever I was a kid.
yo, get a
I
duck hunt,
see
man.
if the NES Classic had that, I would so totally do that. But no, but I'm curious. Like, okay, they're saying that there are 20 classic titles, fan favorites. They're games that people have been wanting and they want that they would want with this console. So whenever I think of games like that, I think of what games would I want?
Did they
Not only
say
20.
only
And they
20?
said that it doesn't have internet capabilities, so you're not going to be getting any more. It's just 20 for
For
$100.
$100? No,
If you
no.
if you do the
I don't
math,
even know
if you
what
do the
those
math, it's
two of the
$5
five
per each
games
game.
were called. Yeah, and I don't know what those two games you named out of the five were called. So that's $5 out. So that's
Yeah.
90.
So if they don't announce a bunch of good games, if they announce Metal Gear Solid, if they announce
I'm already
Gex,
disappointed for
if they
those two
announce
titles, dude. I don't even know what those
Spider-Man,
do.
the original PlayStation Spider-Man, I would be more interested in it. If they announced Mega Man Legends, dude,
No, I'm not. I
what
have
what would
copies.
you do though?
Like, I have physical copies that I can put on my PS2. I have digital copies on my PS3. I bought special disc cases with special drawn art for my Mega Man Legends PS1 copies. You know, I have a Nintendo 64 copy of Mega Man Legends. There's nothing they can do to make me buy a PlayStation Classic. Literally nothing. But the one thing that I would want to talk about, and I'm not gonna talk shit about PlayStation's marketing team, and I'm not gonna say that I might have better ideas than PlayStation's marketing team, but the better way to go about this would have been to announce PS2, a new PS2 with a complete library of PS1
Dude,
games
if they would have done that, if
because
they
of
would
the
have done that,
PS2 dying the week prior. Because of the PS2 dying
oh
the
man,
week prior. Do you know how many people
dude,
would
I
have been
paid
excited
$300 for that.
because the PS2 died a week prior? Exactly. Like, but they
See,
didn't.
I
And
think that
like,
they're gonna go that
we
direction,
talked
though.
about that in the last podcast. How hard is it to bring in digital games? Yeah, there's ports, and yeah, they're bad ports, and there's not real. It takes a lot of time to make good ports, but honestly, there's a lot of people that are willing to pay, and you know, PlayStation could set up
Yeah.
a funding campaign through those kind of games too. But the PS2 has the hardware support in there to read the PS1 disc. How difficult is it to remake the PS2 console? They could, like, I'm not, as much as I like to talk about computers on this podcast, and you guys don't know that because this is the second podcast, but as much as I'll talk about computers in this podcast, I'm not really a hardware guy. I'm more about software. I know how to fix software problems more. I just know about hardware because if your computer breaks down, you're gonna have to fix it anyway. Um, but I don't know how the old PS2 systems were made, and I haven't like opened it up or opened up a PS4. But I don't know. I don't truly believe that it'd be difficult for Sony to remake a PS2 disc reader.
No,
Like
I feel like it would be so
that
easy.
technology is old. They could
The
have
thing-
improved it to make
thing
it
that
better to
frustrates
read
me-
those This,
The thing
well,
that frustrates me
I
about
don't know,
this
man.
is they have way more than 20 games on the PS3 digital library. All they have to do is throw it on a memory card, make it playable on this console, and just put all those games on there. And people would be like, "Yes, I'm sold. I'm gonna get it." But whenever you only have 20 titles, it's like, "Oh, what if you don't have the games that I really enjoyed whenever I was growing up? The games that I would play."
20 titles for $100
I,
isn't worth it.
I still want to see what comes out from it. I want to see what games come from it, and I'm interested in it. Don't.
If they said $20 at launch, $20, 20 games at launch, and additional
Yeah,
support in the
but
future, I would
they
have been
came out and
interested.
said
But
that there's no
with just
support in the
20
future.
games, dot, then I'm not interested. It's not worth the money. And I'm gonna tell you guys here, use a fucking emulator if you really want it that bad, alright? You didn't hear it from me, but seriously, don't waste your fucking money on garbage like that.
Just
Anyway, is there anything else you
no,
want
no.
to say
That's
about
all I
this
wanted to
topic?
mention.
Alright, so coming up with speaking of video games and PlayStation Classic, we're hitting the holiday season release date for video games next month. It starts in October, ends in December, obviously. And there are a lot of games coming out, mainly ones that were delayed and that might be delayed again. The main one being Red Dead Redemption 2. Hopefully, it
Who
doesn't get
knows though?
delayed again because Call of Duty changed the release date and Battlefield changed the release date just so they wouldn't
Mhm.
have to compete for that space. Because people know that Rockstar made a lot of money with GTA 5 and they're probably not going to lose with Red Dead Redemption 2. Marvel Spider-Man isn't really a holiday game because it came out in September, but we're just going to call it that because it's really cool. Um, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is
Yeah,
what
that's what people are
people
focused
are
on.
mostly excited for. Like, yeah, that's what everybody wants. That's what it's in everybody's minds and mouths. Uh, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Even though Red Dead Redemption is pretty popular, people are talking about Super Smash Bros. Ultimate at the same time. Another game that I might be picking up now because I've upgraded my graphics card is the new Forza Horizon
Ooh.
4 is coming out. I don't think they have like an official release date. It just says 2018. And for you, you played the
Yes, I love
Telltale
Telltale
games,
games,
right?
man.
Is Life is
No, that's not a
is Life
Telltale,
is Strange from
but
Telltale? Okay, well, Life is Strange 2
yeah,
is
it comes
coming out
out.
at some point in the holiday.
Yeah,
Oh,
end
it
of
comes out
September.
in September. Never mind, that doesn't count.
Well, that's the
Well,
first
it comes
episode.
out
Like the
it
rest
comes
is
at the
gonna
end
be
of
released
September, but
later on.
whatever. Oh yeah, they do episodes. Fallout 76, of course, which you're hyped about. Probably gonna be playing the beta. I totally didn't buy or I totally didn't put $5 down on the blackout beta and to switch it to the Fallout 76 beta. This is
This
why
is exactly
GameStop
why.
loses money, people. This is the reason why GameStop is going out of business because you let us do
I
this
can't
kind
wait
of
for the
thing.
beta, man. The
Anyway,
beta's gonna be. I
dude, I can't wait to
yes.
play the beta with you. That's literally. I wouldn't even play the beta. I would wait for the game to come out. But like,
I
since you're
have
getting
to
on it,
know. I have to
just
know
can't
what
wait
it's
to
gonna
play
be
the
like.
beta
I have
with
to know
you.
if it's gonna be worth the $60 to play, or if it's gonna be something that's like, we'll only get a few hours of real enjoyment out of it.
The one, the one thing, yeah, I am worried about that too, to be honest. And I wouldn't say I'm a mega fanboy, but I'm a bigger fanboy of Fallout than I am of Kingdom Hearts 3, and that might surprise you. Um, but what I want to know, and the reason why I want to be in the beta, besides playing with you, is the factions.
Yeah.
Everyone's talking about, oh, the online Fallout 76. Oh, there's trail flares. Oh, there's nukes. Oh, there's these porta
Yeah.
forts, or
Like
the ones that
you
you
move
can
the
make
thing.
your base portable. Oh, there's these things and other things and things, but nobody's talking about the factions. Nobody's talking about the NCR, the Enclave, Brotherhood of Steel,
Well,
the
they
Institute,
announced
the
they announced where
Railroad.
it's taking what the map is called, like the
Sh-
actual map where it happens at.
those one get vampire guys, Raiders. Hold on, what are the other factions? I don't
The
remember.
map
Anyway,
is
what were you
called
saying? Map
Appalachian,
what map?
which is the Appalachian Mountains. So it's gonna be taking place in. I know it's West
Well,
Virginia,
it
but
was
like
West
it's a
Virginia. But
more exact location.
no, Mark, don't ruin this for me. You just said it. You're just about to ruin this for me. The mountains.
Yep.
The mountains. I fear the mountains.
No, but
We'll see what
there's a
happens when
bunch
we
of
play
other
the game.
stuff that's coming
Obviously, I'm
out.
not
That
gonna
some stuff
buy
that
the
I'm
whole
not
thing
super
though.
interested in, but there's like Mega Man 11's coming out.
Battlefield 5's coming
Nope.
out. Neither of us are interested in that. Assassin's Creed
I'm
Odyssey
interested in
is.
it,
I
but
don't
I'm
know
gonna
if
wait
you're
till it's on
interested in
sale.
that. You like the one
Dude, I
before?
loved Origin. I
Origins.
loved
I always
Origins.
forget the name. The name is so forgetful. Uh, Call of Duty Black Ops 4 is coming out.
Yeah,
We
I'm gonna
both
wait
played the
on
Black
that.
Ops beta. I kind of liked it. I don't.
I'll
It's not a
probably wait
seller,
wait
but I
till the
did
new
enjoy
year.
playing the game. FIFA 19, nobody cares.
Oh
Dreams, you know
yes,
Dreams. You've watched
yes.
Dreams, right? That is the successor to Little Big Planet. I was such a big on Little Big Planet. Before
Yeah.
Minecraft came out. That was like my main game for like building and decorate, like creativity and all that shit. Because I was that you had so many things you could do. Like there were not that many limitations. Now that we are on PS4 and a lot of other consoles, it's pretty fucking limited. But yeah, Dream's successor. I'm very excited because it's like what we talked about in the last podcast, that MMO that everybody's combined in. Everybody comes into their own worlds.
Yeah.
Remember, we're talking about that. But I hope it succeeds. Hitman 2 is coming out, brought to you by Square Enix. I don't know if
It's
it's
episodic.
episodic.
The
Do you know if
first,
it's episodic?
the newest one was episodic, and now
All right.
it's
The last Hitman being episodic wasn't bad.
I felt like it
Many
worked.
people didn't hate it. I don't like the Hitman. I don't like the Hitman series. I don't like stealth games a lot. The only stealth game I really like is Metal Gear. But I like watching people play it because I don't have the patience to stay on the road that long. But yeah, people liked it being what's it called
Yeah.
episodic. Yeah, there you go. Dragon's
Dude,
Quest
there's a
XI,
game coming
actually
out
that
that I'm
came out
excited for.
recently, so we can't
Astrobot
call
Rescue
that.
Mission. I talked to you about this one before.
What is
It's the VR game where it's kind of like PlayStation's answer to Mario in VR. I haven't streamed it yet.
Oh yeah, you told me about it. I just didn't remember it. There's the one game that has the shittiest name ever, GTFO. Do you remember GTFO? You remember
Yeah,
when GTFO was announced?
remember something like that.
Remember the game called Get the Fuck Out? Remember that? It's everybody bashed on it because it was such a shitty game or name. It was made by some developer it was made by wait, who was it made by? Oh, the Payday people, right? Um, I'm not liking how it looks. There's a game called The Last Night, which I'm not interested in. Darksiders 3. Were you a
I
fan
like
of
it,
Darksiders
but
3?
it's I'm not crazy about it. I like it. I'm not crazy about it. I'm not gonna pick it up.
I can never finish Darksiders 1, dude. I always
Yeah,
get to the last part.
that's
and
pretty
then
much
just
how I
get
feel.
bored.
Like whenever
But,
you
I
get
mean,
into it,
it's
you
a
play it, you
cool
enjoy
game.
it, but then
It's a cool
you
game.
get bored of it.
Starlink. Starlink with Mr. Fox
Yeah.
and Mr. Wolf. You know what I'm talking about, right? The Nintendo release. I'm not like mega into it, but I like the Easter eggs. I like that they're bringing Star Fox back because Star Fox back hasn't had a game since. When
No,
was
the
last
last Star
year?
Fox
NES,
game was
right?
for the Wii U, wasn't it?
Um,
Or was there a Switch one?
no, no. Well, this is a Switch one.
No,
The one that's
a
coming out.
there was a Star Fox game
Starlink.
that just came
It's a
out
Switch one.
recently.
I don't think so, but it doesn't really matter. Soul Calibur BI, I don't know what number that is, but I don't think neither of us care about that. Destiny 2 Forsaken, that already came out, so I don't really care. Just Cause 4, are you
I
a fan
played
of Just Cause 4?
Just Cause. I'm not crazy about it. It wasn't that great.
I played Just Cause 2. It's literally just about exploding everything. And, like, there's literally no point to anything else. You're literally there to just destroy everything. Like, that's how you should play the Just Cause games. Just go around destroying things, blowing them up and shit. Mega Man 11, which we're both fans of. I really want to buy the game. I'm gonna buy it on Switch because I don't want my Switch to be a paperweight anymore. What do
I
you
have
think
been
about
wanting to play the
Mega Man
demo and
11?
stream it and give it a try. I know it's short, but I wanna have it on my channel. So I've been wanting to play it and try it and see how it feels when you replay it. Cause like Mega Man has a certain feel.
We're both excited for
And if it doesn't have that feel, it's
Mega
gonna
Man
be
1,
like,
yeah, Mega Man has a certain feel.
yeah,
Like Mega Man 10 didn't have that feel to me. We're both
yes.
excited for Mario Party, but you wanna know
What's
what I
up?
realized while I was editing the podcast? They call it Super Mario Party so they can get the sales with the Super Mario Bros. New release shit. Like that's what they call it Super because they want to get the sales
You think
numbers from
so?
calling it Super Mario.
I like
I'm
it. I think the
pretty
name
sure. I'm not
fits. I think it's
against it
very
though. Honestly, I'm not
yeah.
against it. I think the name fits. I'm just saying they're trying to fucking cash in on the Super Mario name, which is
Yeah.
their own name, so there's not really anything bad about it. And I'm happy because I want them to make more sales because I want Mario Party to be a fun game. Mario Party was so much fun before 7, man. Well,
Dude, I
before
had
6. I,
7
I
and I
always
actually enjoyed it a little bit.
mess that up,
I
but
like the mini
before
games like a lot, but it was the one with the sun and the moon.
I
I
don't
think it
remember
was.
any of the anything after 6. I don't remember anything after 6. Everything after
But
5 was
dude,
pretty much
4 was the best.
like horrible for me. Uh, I don't remember. I don't remember. I don't remember. I seriously don't remember anything between 5 and 1. But I know everything after 5 was complete garbage because it was like everybody got ripped off from their stars and shit. Like everybody could steal. So like, what was
Yeah.
the point of playing the fucking game if like the tables could be turned on the last turn of the game? Like you could literally land a spot that you could take all the stars
Yeah, I thought that was
from
dumb.
the character that's in first place. Like, what's the point of that? Yeah, the like yeah, Mario Party 7. I believe you that had fun mini games, but I'm pretty sure that Mario Party 7 is one of those games that were guilty about landing in bullshit spots. There was that one Mario Party game that was 2D, that was Donkey Kong, which I thought was kind of cool until I saw people play it. It
Oh,
was
I
two
think I know what you're talking
dimensional.
about.
Like,
Yeah.
what's like? I didn't. Spyro, the Reignited trilogy. Everybody wants that. You can't tell me people weren't excited for that. Is there
Toe
any
Jam
games
and
that you
Earl
know that are
back in
coming
the
out in
groove.
2018 holiday season? Toe Jam and Earl, hell yeah! I
Dude, I
mean,
love Toe
I'm
Jam
not
and Earl.
interested in it, but
My
hell
uncle
yeah!
had a Genesis, and I'd go to whenever we'd visit him. I'd sit there and play Toe Jam and Earl the whole time.
I know of it because of a YouTube channel called
Mm-mm.
Outside Xbox, Outside Extra. Do you know those people? Okay, well I know about because of them, and they talked about it in whatever like how video. Uh, there are. Is there any other games that you want to mention for 2018? Because I got nothing else.
No,
You
that's
want to
it. I
talk
mean,
about
that's pretty much named them all.
the cards, the holiday cards? Because I don't know if these are holiday
Okay.
cards, but I'm just considering
Okay.
holiday cards for transition purposes.
Let me explain what's going on here for people who are listening. We come up with topics that we want to talk about, and the thing that I wrote for my topic is Google
Hold on.
Cards. Now,
So
Google Cards
basically,
are
for
not
the
what you think it
topics, we're
is.
not allowed to like disclose to each other what the actual subject is. We're supposed to be
Yeah.
vague. Like for the last podcast, I wrote virtual console because I wanted to talk about backwards compatibility that you guys talked about, and the list I said virtual console, because that was a good segue from the Nintendo Direct. Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
we try to find ways
and
to segue into it, but if we
that won't give
sometimes it
away.
doesn't work.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like,
That
what are
won't
you
give
talking
away
about? That doesn't
the
even
topic
work.
either because if we give away the topic, then we're both gonna start talking about it to each other, and we're gonna like think
Yeah.
about the things that we want to say and then forget them. It's better if we say it the first time so you don't forget what you want to say. You know, like you don't think about it and then it just goes away.
Yeah.
But this time, this man wants to put cool cards, some holiday cards, I guess. I'm just gonna say they're holiday cards, but take it away, Mark.
Okay, so Google Cards is not holiday cards. It is not even a card. It is in the Google app on your phone. It's basically the only way I get news. They have things that they call Google Cards, which is basically it shows up underneath your search bar because in the Google app it's just a search bar, but it has like news and stuff that comes up. And in it, that's where I normally get my news for the week and stuff that they find out that's interesting. So whenever I said Google Cards, I just had a few things that came up in my Google Cards that I thought was interesting or really dumb. So the first one is something that I sent to you before we started.
Yeah.
You remember that clown, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Have you seen Suicide Squad? Okay. Jared Leto is the Joker in that. People like him or hate him, or they are indifferent. Um, I
I
liked him.
didn't
I thought he was
hate
okay. I thought he was really
the
weird.
actor. I
But
hated how the Joker was written. No, I
yeah,
hated
I
the way
hated the
that
way
the
he
Joker
looked.
was written because they didn't really give him any time to do anything. Like
Oh,
literally
yeah, yeah,
all
yeah,
his
yeah. I got
scenes,
you. Yeah, no, like
literally all his scenes
he
were
was
just
supposed to
him
have a lot
laughing.
more. But anyways, they've already confirmed that he's gonna have his own solo movie. Before they confirmed that, they confirmed a another Joker movie, a Joker movie starring Joaquin Phoenix. Do you know who Joaquin
No,
Phoenix
but
is?
I don't like the name already.
He is. Have you heard of the movie
How do you
Her?
spell it?
Joaquin, Joaqui,
Okay, got it, got it, got it, got
Quin.
it, got it. Her?
So Her,
No,
yeah.
I haven't.
It's
It sounds.
it's a movie where he falls in love with his phone basically, and the phone is played by
Oh, the
Scarlett
yeah, yeah,
Johansson.
yeah, yeah. I did hear about this. I did hear about this movie. I did want to watch it. It was the whole
Okay,
like
so
AI thing.
I just sent you a picture of him so you could see what he looks like.
Yeah.
He's gonna be playing the Joker. This takes place back in like gangster era, and it's supposed to be interesting, but he looks so normal in the way that they this then today they released the first picture of him.
Yeah. Is that the first picture of him?
That is the first picture of him as the Joker.
He does not look like. I'm looking at some pictures of him right now. I'll add them in the editing because that what happens. But like, I can see him pull off like the Joker face, but in
Yeah,
that picture that you sent me, that does not
yeah.
look like it does not look
And
convincing at all. It's just
I'm
like
like,
some
what are you
dude.
thinking?
That's just like.
This is just some dude that put on some
See
face paint and was
the
like,
reason why I did the whole like get it out of my face is because it was so like this is not like this is really like I don't like using the word cringy, but this is really fucking cringy. Like, come on, dude. This looks like a guy that tried to cheap out on the Halloween costume and just
Halloween
face
costume.
painted
That's what I was gonna
himself.
say. He's a guy who like went to his wife's makeup closet and was like, "I'm gonna be the Joker."
He
and
literally
like,
just painted
smeared
his
all this
face
junk.
for his Halloween
Make sure you put this
costume.
picture. Show people
Yeah.
his face. Like zoom in on his eyes.
He
Make sure you show
literally
'em.
just. Oh yeah, his eyes are fucking wet. I just saw that.
Dude. Like it's like, what are you
Like
thinking? Like,
he
okay,
just, dude, he looks like he's high as fuck. I've seen really high people, and that looks like a guy that's just fucking high. That looks like a guy
he's
that
on
ate
the
some
laughing
food,
leg,
dude.
yes. Okay, so
He had
that was
some
one thing.
edibles, man.
Another thing that's been showing up all over my Google cards is Batman had a new comic book come out called Batman Damned. And this is supposed to be an edgier, more mature comic book, and with blood and guts and swearing, and apparently it has Batman's member.
Okay,
Yeah, just hanging around, like
but why?
takes off his suit and he's walking just because they can. So if you've ever been interested in seeing Batman's, there you go. You can find it now. Get the comic book.
I mean, that's not what like.
Dude,
What
like,
did you call
like,
it? What did you call it? Something rated? What did you call it?
his member.
No, rated. You said the show was rated something. Rated?
Oh, it's not a show. It's a comic book.
Well, what was the comic book rated?
It's just mature.
Mature? Yeah, like
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like some people write mature to get away with some things, but I think mature is more about violence than that.
See,
Violence and
but to me, like
and
just because you
morals
can do
than-
something doesn't mean you should.
exactly like it's mature rating. Most people use it to mean adultery, which is like why
Yeah.
you could actually be
Yeah.
artistic about it and talk about abuse, violence, and a bunch of other topics, mental illness. That's mature rating. But nah, you
Yeah.
just want to show some guy's dick.
Exactly. So that was one that's been showing up a lot, and it's been driving me crazy, and it's so dumb. And like, I don't know if you listen to Up at Noon or watch Up at Noon.
I
I love
love those
Up at Noon.
guys. I like.
They talked about it. It was funny.
I love those guys.
And
They're-
like, I'm just tired
that's
of
the only
hearing about it.
podcast I want to watch regularly, but I don't have the time to watch things regularly. So.
Yeah, I wish that they had like just an audio version that you could listen to.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Okay, so another card that came up.
You only got a
recently
couple
is-
minutes, so you gotta hurry.
Yeah, I'll hurry. I'll hurry. Spider-Man,
Yeah.
fastest selling PlayStation game ever.
Mm,
3.3 million in 3 days.
3.3 million in 3 days.
Yes.
I mean, if it's
God of War had
fastest.
3.1, and that was the last one that had the
Oh, that
highest
was the
rating.
last one. Well, highest rating or highest sales?
Highest sells for a PlayStation original.
But launch day sales, not total sales yet.
First 3 days.
Yeah, I mean, it beat out PlayStation 5 or PlayStation 5, Grand Theft Auto 5 because it was an old generation on PS3 when the next gen was already announced, so nobody wanted to
Yeah.
buy it until it came out next gen. Um, but I want to see if it beats Grand Theft Auto 5 for total sales because Grand Theft Auto 5 is the game has the highest number of total sales, or highest grossing, whatever the fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the last card I wanted to mention was the Captain Marvel trailer came out this week. I'm super excited about the movie. I love Marvel. I love Captain Marvel's
I was supposed to
stories.
watch that
I
trailer before we did this podcast, and I just completely
Well,
forgot.
it doesn't make a difference because it doesn't really reveal much other than a few things that I'm excited about, and that is Secret Invasion. If you're not familiar with the comics, in the comics there's an alien race called the Skrulls who can shapeshift into different, like they can shapeshift into anybody. And in the comics they shapeshift into a bunch of heroes. And they capture like Captain America and different heroes, take them to their spaceship, and while they're up there in their spaceship, the Skrulls have taken their place on Earth. For years and years they've been these people on Earth. So like then the Skrulls come back and they're trying to take over the world. Well, in Captain Marvel, it shows her punching an old lady in the trailer, which means that old lady is not really an old lady.
I
That
mean,
old lady is probably a Skrull, which
yeah,
makes me really excited. It makes me hopeful for the future of them, like doing a Secret Invasion, a Secret Wars thing. That would be really, really wonderful.
I don't know of any comics that aren't don't have video game editions because if you talk about uh, superhero video game editions without knowing about the comics, you'll get fucking murdered by the community.
Yes.
Like you have to know about it if you talk about it. That's why I know about some of the Spider-Man balloons that come in the comics. That's why I know about crazy quilts in fucking Batman.
Hmm.
um, but yeah, I don't know about Marvel. I'm interested in watching the movie just because a lot of people talked about it, and I didn't know who Captain Marvel was. I just thought it was a stupid name because the company's just called Marvel, and then he's called Captain Marvel, and I'm
Yeah.
like,
Well,
I didn't know about him until they brought him in the into Justice game.
into the what?
Injustice game.
Okay, you're thinking about the wrong Captain Marvel, my friend.
Didn't they bring him into the Justice game?
Injustice is DC.
Didn't no, but didn't they make a DC versus Marvel?
No.
I swear to God, they made a thing with that. They had him in the game, didn't they? They had Captain Marvel in the game.
Well, Captain Marvel's a girl.
Yeah, they had. I didn't say anything about him being male or female. I just said they had him in the game.
Well, you keep calling her him.
Oh, do I? Do I? Anyway,
You're like, I
um,
saw him in this game. He was a
but
guy, but
but
they
I'm
made it a
pretty
girl
sure they
later on.
had him in the fighting game. I'm pretty. Yeah, I did say him. Yeah,
Mm.
I'm pretty sure
Oh,
they
it's
had him in the fighting
probably
game.
Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
I don't think so. I think they had him in a game that looked like Injustice, like the 3D models, not like the whole cell shading thing that Marvel vs. Capcom was going for. Actually, yeah. It was in the newest one because nobody played the newest Marvel vs. Capcom game. Now that I realize,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
Marvel vs. Capcom.
that's why I was
Captain
confusing
Marvel
it.
is in it.
Because nobody cared about that game after it came out. No wonder I said Injustice. God damn. I'm like, dude, there's a fighting game, but like the only one that's relevant that has superheroes is Injustice. So that's why I just automatically jumped for it. I completely forgot they made a new Marvel vs. Capcom.
No worries. Honest mistake.
Um,
Anyways, okay.
yeah, is that all you
So
want
at
to
the
say about your
end of the
cards?
podcast, we like to give
No, no, no,
recommendations.
no. We still gotta take about the last topic. All right, you can't just skip that. Okay.
Rats.
You probably don't want to talk about it, but we can't just skip that. All right. So the one thing that I wanted to mention that we don't really want to spend too much time on because it's not a positive topic. But I wanted to bring awareness to the Hurricane Florence that was a level 4. Did it increase to level 5?
Yeah, I think it was.
I know it was level 4. I just don't know if it increased to level 5. Do you know anybody that was on the East Coast that like was affected by the storm?
No, not really.
Um, the hurricane managed to hit Mexico. Thankfully, I don't have any family that's on the eastern side of Mexico.
Hmm.
But obviously, there are a lot of cities, especially in on the eastern side of America, because the eastern side of Mexico is a lot closer to, or not a lot closer, but it's a lot further away from
Yeah,
the Florida state where the hurricane is going to hit. But obviously, both countries got hit by a lot, and obviously you got to pay for repairs, which puts America in bigger debt, which there are only trillions in debt, and puts Mexico's GDP. I don't know if it's GDP, but it puts Mexico's economy at a worse position because the government has to spend money to replace all those people's houses. So I'm not the kind of person that donates to children's hospitals when somebody asks me
yeah,
to at a grocery store. Mainly because there are stores and people that take that money. So I just I don't do that. But
yeah. Same.
there are people that don't have houses right now because and they still have to go to work because their houses are flooded. They can't really rest. There's nothing they can really do. But people have to go to work. You gotta pay for shit. Like I would urge you guys to support them if you can. The
Definitely,
American side or the Mexican side is really. I'm not
or
really.
both.
Yeah, or both. I'm not really biased, but if you know people that are there, tell people to help because it's a big disaster. This is actually the biggest disaster we've had since one of the older earthquakes, and El Nino, but that didn't hit as hard as people thought it was going to. That
Yeah.
was a hurricane before them. Anyway, yeah, the thing we'd like to end on is the recommendations for the week. I don't know what Mark's is, so I want to hear his first.
Actually, I wanted you to go first.
Why me? Do you want to bash on me that hard?
No,
Do
no,
you
no,
want to
no,
make
no, no.
fun of
I
me
got,
that hard?
I got something up my sleeves.
That makes me more scared. So the thing I wanted to recommend, mainly because I was thinking about this during work. Now I want to start this off by saying I didn't read the book, but a lot of people bash on this movie a little too much. It's called Delirium in the City of a Thousand Planets, right?
Yeah, Thousand Planets.
I can't believe I remember that. Now I don't like the male actor in that movie. I think he tries to go for too much edge, too much. I'm like the whole Kirito or Jesus Kun from SAO that he's unstoppable and shit. Like I don't really like how he plays out. Maybe that's how he's supposed to be in the book, but I really don't like how smug the actor is about it. Like it's not like respectable. It's like he can win anything and he's not afraid of getting shot in the face. uh,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
I
I know
do
what you're
think
talking
a
about.
lot of people hate on that movie way too much.
Isn't
The
he the
ending
same
was
guy?
horrible.
Isn't he the same guy who played Harry Osborn in Amazing Spider-Man 2?
Uh, the Amazing Spider-Man
I'm pretty
2, I
sure he
don't
is.
know. I do not know. But anyway, yeah, I didn't like the ending cause it was really just sex. Honestly, like why, like why? Uh, but it was an enjoyable movie. I like to watch it, and I actually wanted to watch it twice because my friend wanted to see it, and they haven't yet. We didn't end up doing it, but it was a movie I would have watched twice in
So it
theaters.
was it was
Mind you,
good.
it was good enough to watch twice in theaters.
I've
So
never
yeah,
seen it.
you should see it once at least. Don't buy it on DVD though. It's not worth that much money.
Okay.
What is your recommendation?
Okay, my recommendation is more of a thing for the people who listen because they don't really know us. They don't know our opinions that much. So I feel like we need to do something maybe next week or the week after so they can get to know us a little bit. My recommendation is more for us than for the audience. It's we should give them like 10 games that we love, a few movies we like, TV shows, stuff like that. Something that they can say, okay, they like this, so his opinion is going to be, you know what I mean.
That would take too much time. Like that would take too much time for me, dude. Like if I have to write out
Well, dude, maybe
my
it'll be just the whole
opinions
podcast
are,
for that.
I would. You know what? You know what? If it's the whole podcast, I'm down. If it's a whole
Let's.
podcast just discussing back
I
and
feel like
forth
it's
the
gonna be a
games
slow week of news.
we're
Maybe there'll be
interested in.
something, but
Yeah, I feel like news is gonna come to a halt because the games are releasing next month. So,
Yeah.
and even when the games release, the news are gonna be non-existent because it's just gonna be reviews and gameplay features from games that are already out. There's not gonna be any new announcement or anything like that. It all dies down during Christmas because they want to put out the games, and even after Christmas, it's fucking dead because nobody wants to spend money. Like this year is the first year we've had a game out, or we've had like two games out that mattered. In January. January is the first month of the year, right?
Yes.
Okay. Monster Hunter World and some other game that I don't remember. But Monster Hunter World is a big game. A lot of people play it. People are still playing it. And it's released in January when it's after Christmas and everyone
Yeah.
spend their money. But it still made sales, and that's Capcom's biggest sales or game sale that they've had in the past whatever years. And Capcom hasn't sold games in a long time.
Yeah. Been a while.
Like, oh, that's the other thing I wanted to talk about, but we don't have time for it in this podcast. So, is there anything else you want to say, Mark?
Nope. That's it. I'm done.
All right. Hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you guys next Monday. Hopefully, I can get to edit this on time and release it on Monday. Because if not, then I'm gonna be really upset with myself, and I think Mark's gonna be more upset with me than anything. Anyway, see you guys later.
Stay frosty.